In 2014, while a helicopter was flying over Siberia, the pilot's attention was drawn to something strange on the ground, a massive sinkhole. This sinkhole was 80 feet wide and as deep as a 15-story building. The pilot flew around the sinkhole twice, took a few photos, and then left the area. However, when these photos were posted online, the news spread worldwide. Many scientists, geologists, and researchers were astounded, as no one had ever seen such a large sinkhole before, especially one that appeared overnight. The volume of the sinkhole was so enormous that it could easily hold the water of 10 Olympic-sized swimming pools. But the question remained, how did this sinkhole form? Until now, no one could explain it, at least not based on the photos alone. This sinkhole was located in the Yamal Peninsula in the northern part of Russia, a region known for its extreme conditions, with very few people living there, only a few thousand nomads. The word Yamal in their language means the end of the earth. After the news of the sinkhole, a geologist team arrived to investigate the area. While sinkholes have formed in many parts of the world, and some even appeared in the middle of forests or near roads, the Yamal sinkhole was not like the usual ones. Normally, sinkholes form when water erodes the ground, making it weaker. But this particular sinkhole appeared abnormal. Unlike typical sinkholes, which have flat borders, this one had raised edges, and its debris scattered over a large area, extending from 200 to 900 meters. This type of debris is usually seen when an asteroid impacts the Earth, but there was no evidence of an asteroid collision. Scientists then hypothesized that a natural explosion could have caused this. Typically, molten lava from deep underground can cause such explosions. However, there was no volcanic rock or lava found near the sinkhole, and no connection to any volcano. So how did this crater-like sinkhole form? To solve this mystery, researchers collected air, water, and soil samples from inside the sinkhole. When tested, they found one thing in large quantities: methane gas. Methane is a natural gas used for cooking and heating, made up of carbon and hydrogen. If present in large amounts, methane can react with the air and ignite. This led scientists to believe that the sinkhole might have been caused by a massive release of methane gas from underground. After this discovery, the mystery was thought to be solved. But before scientists could fully investigate where this methane came from, several more sinkholes appeared in the Yamal Peninsula. These new sinkholes also seem to have formed in a similar fashion, suggesting that something unusual was happening. Researchers began to notice that these sinkholes were increasing rapidly after 2014, especially as temperatures in Siberia started rising. Since the beginning of the 19th century, the global average temperature has risen by about 1 degree Celsius. But in the Arctic Circle, this temperature rise is happening at twice the normal rate. This phenomenon prompted scientists to investigate the connection between these sinkholes and climate change. Meanwhile, far from Yamal in the Arctic Circle, another research team discovered something strange at a lake in Alaska's northwest coast. Locals had noticed unusual bubbles rising from the lake, as if the water were boiling. When the research team tested the bubbles, they found that they contained methane gas as well. Although methane leakage is common in the Arctic, this was unusual because this lake was releasing around 10 tons of methane per day. It was the first time that so much methane had been released from this area. The team decided to investigate further and found that the source of the methane was much deeper than expected. The lake was only 3 feet deep, but the methane was coming from a much deeper point where diving was not possible. They used sonar scanning to create a 3D model of the lakebed and discovered that the area from which the bubbles were emerging was 50 feet deep. Interestingly, both Yamal and the lake in Alaska shared a common factor. They were both located on permafrost, a layer of frozen ground that remains solid throughout the year. Recent research has shown that due to the increasing temperatures in the Arctic, the permafrost is beginning to thaw. Permafrost covers vast areas of land in regions such as Russia, Canada, and Alaska. The thawing of permafrost has become a major concern because it is releasing large amounts of organic matter that had been trapped for thousands of years. The organic matter in permafrost contains a significant amount of carbon. As plants grow, they absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. When they die, their decomposition releases some of this carbon back into the air. However, the freezing temperatures in the Arctic had slowed down the decomposition process. allowing organic matter to be preserved for millennia. Now, as the permafrost melts due to rising temperatures, the organic matter is decomposing, releasing methane gas. Experts believe that the amount of carbon trapped in the permafrost is so large that it could rival the total carbon on the entire planet. As the permafrost melts, the bacteria that decompose the organic matter release methane, which is a potent greenhouse gas. Additionally, the thawing of permafrost makes the ground softer, allowing methane gas trapped beneath the surface to escape more easily. This gas can then find its way to the surface through weak points in the soil, forming sinkholes like the ones seen in Yamal. The rise in methane emissions and the increase in sinkholes are clear signs of the impact of climate change in the Arctic. Despite efforts to control global warming, scientists have found no solution to stop the thawing of permafrost. If this trend continues, it could have significant consequences for the planet's climate and environment. This fascinating mystery continues to unfold, and scientists are closely monitoring these changes to understand the full impact of climate change on the Earth's future.